Fani Willis has been a very, very polarizing figure down there in the Fulton County area of Georgia. We all remember her when, they referred to her as the Bulldog. She was coming in with guns blazing. She was going to clean up Fulton County. She was going to rid Fulton County of drug dealers, gangbangers, all kinds of wild and salacious stuff that's going on down there in that area. She went and was, very integral part. She played a very integral part in taking out Paul Howard, the embattled DA that was in there when, he had all kinds of sexual allegations, money missing, a whole bunch of stuff. Now, Paul Howard was really loved down there in that area of Fulton County, but he had a whole bunch of baggage. And Fani was able to run on that and exposing that. At one point, they were saying that he was a mentor to her, and she running to take his position, she turned her back on him. She started to expose a lot of his dirty work, and a lot of things that was going on behind the scenes that she was privy to. A lot of information. It was so bad that when she was running to take his position, she went on TV and said this.
Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children. Because we deserve that.
Wow. Paul Howard was quite the cheek clapper. He was a lot of cheek clapping going on down there, boy. A whole lot of cheek clapping and howling in them late night in them office buildings. So they got him out of there, and they got Fani Willis in there. And Fani Willis came in, bringing Ricos on everybody. She was making a name for herself. I'm talking about guns blazing. We're going to clean up everything. We're coming in and we're taking the community back. And by that time, Donald Trump had got indicted. And she was up on her high horse, feeling good about herself, saying, hey, we're going to go after Donald Trump for election fraud down here in Georgia. But see, Fani didn't realize that she didn't have all her ducks in order. She didn't have her stuff together. And when she decided to go after Trump, she lost her support system, and they start coming at her with guns blazing. And what Fani didn't realize was behind the scenes, she decided to hire Nathan Wade, an unqualified lawyer who had never tried a case like this before, and paid him astronomical amount of money to actually help her go after Donald Trump. And what the powers that be did was go back and study the records of all the money transactions and look and see how he was billing Fulton County for his services. And it's come out now that there was a lot of cheek clapping going on late night in the office, probably in the same office that Paul Howard was clapping cheeks in. Oh, Fani Willis was getting them cheeks clapped by Nathan Wade, and she was paying how she weighed. She was paying a lot of money. But now she's in trouble, and the powers that be are going after her. But let's look at how they started to go through the finances with a fine-tooth comb. Check this out.
All right, we're back in order. We were reviewing the billing practices, the contracts that the various outside counsel had, and I pulled up here one section of Mr. Wade's bill for the really early on in his involvement in the case. As I recall, it began on November 1st of 21, so this would be out of his first bill. I see on November 5th, prepare case for pretrial, 24 hours on one day. What do you make of that?
I thought it was astonishing that you didn't sleep for 24 hours. I've been to trial. I've been to trial and had to work long hours, but 24 straight. But we did question him about that at the hearing, and he said that that's when it was concluded. So how he explained it was November 5th is when the work was concluded, and so he had done that work up until then, and that he only billed when it was concluded. So he said that the 24 hours, who knows when it spanned, but that how he billed was
would have had to be between November 3rd and November 5th, though, right? So it had to be on the 4th and the 5th, 12 hours.
But it gets even crazier. Let's check out the second half of this video and look at how they actually just unpacking this whole thing, man. Fani and Nathan is in some serious trouble, man. Check this out.
Thing that I noticed with this is prepared cases for pretrial. At this point, it says anti-corruption unit. His two law partners are the conflict lawyers for the anti-corruption unit. So you've got law, I mean, it's like my husband couldn't represent someone who's adverse to me. Like my husband is my law partner. He can't be doing privilege review on a case I'm prosecuting. So he's consulting on anti-corruption cases for the DA's office where his two law partners are doing the privilege review at the same time. That plus the 24 hours are the two things that really struck out to me.
So, but the only role he had was this prosecution of this election fraud.
Yes, the only role.
Okay, so when it says anti-corruption, that's the corruption we're looking at, election interference.
Yes, he's never worked on any other case.
All right. Let's see that other bill there, Senator Dolezal. All right, so here's another one. If you can see that, okay, this is the one we put up earlier. It looks to be much more specific date-wise anyway than just, those 24-hour chunks like that.
Right. I mean, it's more specific, but it doesn't say what, like, just for example, team meeting and argument prep. Argument prep for what? I mean, normally when we do bills, we would say, argue motion to dismiss or argue whatever the motion is. Research. What are you researching? Researching statutory privilege. Whatever it is.
Now, this one, he shows date ranges when it's over multiple days. Like down at the bottom, 426 to 427, 18 hours. If I'm reading that right, or 16 hours. But on that previous one, he just has 1 day, 24 hours.
Yes.
And you say these are approved by Fani Willis. By contract, she has to approve these billings.
Yes.
So now Nathan Wade is writing and billing Fulton County for all this money. And Fani Willis, who is his boss, is approving it. But there's nobody, it's not being regulated. And she's having a sexual relationship with this individual at the same time. It's just, it's insane. And like I said, they're going through this with a fine-tooth comb. And Fani has this black lawyer. He's down there trying to defend the situation, but it's not looking good at all, because now they done uncovered everything, all of the money that he was actually billing them for these hours, and it's no way that all of this stuff can go together. There's no way that they can actually legally show a way that he was actually doing this on the up and up, and then it comes out that they was having a sexual relationship. Let's look at how the attorneys for the state is actually coming against her now and what they're doing. Check this out.
Wish we could go back in time and undo that and see, but we can't. And so Mr. Wade was in the grand jury. He should not have been there. He should not have been appointed. Had the Board of County Commissioners known all of the facts of the case, he would never have been appointed to this case. So we can't now speculate as to what could have happened.
What case law do you point to prove that?
Oh, the statutes.
No, it's not a statute. Not Fulton County statute. I'm asking for Georgia Court of Appeals, Georgia Supreme Court. Is there any case that says that? And there's not.
No, and it's really not surprising, honestly, because can you imagine this happening? I mean, honestly,
it happens.
In December, would you have imagined this happening? I think most people wouldn't
all
have.
Sorts of conflicts are taken up by the Court of Appeals.
I can tell you, I have found some cases in other jurisdictions, but I have never found a case in Georgia where, and mind you, this only happens in Fulton County. So we're talking about Fulton County cases where there would be a special prosecutor appointed, because it's the only place that this happens. So otherwise, maybe the AG. So you're talking about a prosecutor sleeping with the person that she is appointing to do this work, paying exorbitant amount of money, not getting county approval, not filing.
Is she paying him, or is he earning the money because he's actually billing hours because he's prosecuting the case?
I don't.
He's
I wasn't
billing
there.
hours because he's prosecuting the case, correct?
I
A
would
case that a
assume.
grand
I
jury
would hope.
indicted.
I would hope that he's billing based on work that he's doing. I don't know, because I don't have proof of that, and the billing is very irregular. But I don't know, so I don't.
But I mean,
wanna
words
speculate.
do matter when we say that she's not paying him in that sense. He's earning money for a case that he is in charge of prosecuting, that a grand jury indicted, and that's where we are.
You're correct. She is not paying him. The Fulton County taxpayers are.
See, for the people out there, what Ashley Merchant is dealing with is from the position that Nathan Wade should have never been there in the first place. He should have never been in that position. He was being paid all of this money when he didn't have credentials to actually fight the case. He had never tried a case like that before. And he was one of the more lower level He was in the more lower level positions of a judge or whatever the position that he had. And secondly, on top of that, they was having a sexual relationship that they lied about prior to her hiring him and paying him all of this money. So now, as I told you, when you decide to go after Trump and you don't have all your ducks in order, the powers that be are going to come out against you. And they're going to come out with guns blazing with all the powerful people, with all the resources to come against you. So her head got big. And remember, when she was going after Paul Howard, she ran on the bill saying that she's not going to be having sex with her employees and people that she worked with. Well, that was a lie. The lie detector has detected that that was a lie. There was a lot of cheek clapping going on in the late hours in them offices. Her and Nathan Wade was having their way. That money that was being spent, that was being unaccounted for up until now, was being paid for trips. It was just a whole bunch of foolishness. So now she's getting in office and she's trying black men with RICOs and everything. And she's going to Puerto Rico. It's just wild. It's just wild, man. And again, it makes us look bad because we're not looked at as the individual. We looked at as a group. So Paul Howard was clapping cheeks in the office on that same table. She was getting her cheeks clapped on. It's crazy. Spending money, unaccounted for money. And Ashley Merchant and all the people from the Diamond Society, when you play their game that they created, how you going to beat them at their game? This is their game. And you think you're going to come out and beat them and then run to the church and blame it on race. No, you're stupid. You decided to go in that office, kiss their behind, play their game, and then go after one of their people. And you think that they're not going to get you and shoot you back down and tell you who you are? Well, that's what it is, man. So Fani Willis is in trouble. Nathan Wade is about to lose everything, his whole career. All for what? But leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.